In today's episode, I'm reviewing one of my favorite spots, Jock Lindsey's Hangar Bar.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
You are listening to the Main Street Magic Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy Stein and John Marone.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and I'm sitting in a hotel room near Disney, but not actually at Disney. What was I thinking? In today's episode, I'm giving a quick review on one of my favorite spots on property, Jock Lindsey's Hangar Bar at Disney Springs. Please check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at mainstmagic. So fuel rods are the first reusable portable charging system that allows you to charge your mobile device on the go and then recharge or swap for a fresh one. Do you want to win a fuel rod? Well, then head out to iTunes or Google Play and leave us a rating and review, and you will be entered to win a new fuel rod. Listener Lisa O'Brien just won herself one with her latest review. And to paraphrase some of my favorite parts, she says, Jeremy and John do a great job of sharing their insight and information based on their experiences as pass holders and Florida residents, but do it in such a way that it is extremely useful and interesting to those of us that are not that lucky and may only get to visit once a year or once every couple of years. Their in-depth restaurant reviews offer some valuable insight for us since the choices at Disney are so incredibly vast. We sometimes fall into the rut of just going with what we know from previous visits, which there's nothing wrong with always visiting a favorite, but it is great to get first-hand accounts on some of the new restaurants and places we may not have thought of to get our wheels turning and stomachs excited for our next visit. These guys provide invaluable information on different resorts and break down the value of many of the Disney add-ons and choices available so you can have as much information as possible to decide what is right for you. She goes on to say that Main Street Magic is extremely entertaining, incredibly informative, and a great Disney resource. No matter whether you have a trip coming up soon, are just a Disney fan and like to be in the know, or you are like me and are always planning your next visit, I highly recommend the Main Street Magic podcast. Thank you, Lisa. That review means so much to John and I, and it is the exact reason that we do this show. Your fuel rod will be in the mail soon, I promise. All right, let's get on with the show. So on my last visit, John and I met up and gave the all-new Edison a shot at Disney Springs for drinks and dinner. And you can check out that full review on episode 43, so make sure you go back and take a listen if you haven't already. One thing I did not mention during my review was that after 2 slices of bacon and the small tuna poke bowl, I was still a bit hungry. So while John needed to head back to his hotel room, I decided to be the weird lonely guy at Disney who sits at a bar for a beer and some food. So I ponied up at Jock Lindsey's Hangar Bar, where I've been on a date night with Rhonda before, and we've had dinner as the whole family sitting outside front there. The story goes that Indiana Jones and his easygoing pilot Jock Lindsey stumbled on Disney Springs in 1938 while chasing down a mythology-based tip in Central Florida. It attracted to the town's natural springs and lush terrain. Jock bought some waterfront property and eventually settled down, piloting seaplane tours across the fast-growing Sunshine State. He eventually built an airplane hangar, air tower, and runway, and invited fellow members of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers to pay him a visit. So his home base soon became a popular stopover and watering hole for world travelers and locals alike. Now today, your family can cross borders and continents to soak up the rugged charm of the artifact-strewn Hangar Bar with its spare airplane parts, salvaged equipment, and dusty mementos of glory days gone by. So let's talk about this atmosphere, because this is just like an old, small airplane hangar. There's a small outside seating area, which is shaped like a boat, and then there's seating out front that will have heaters in the cooler evenings. It's a great place to sit and people watch at Disney Springs. And throughout this lounge or bar, there's tiny little details everywhere. So make sure you take some time to wander around and look around. You feel a little bit odd as you're kind of walking past tables and maybe getting a little too close to some people eating. But trust me, you want to look at everything there is from floor to ceiling because there's a lot of really, really cool stuff. So this is a great place where you could start a date night. You could take the whole family or go out with friends or just be the creepy guy like me. So let's talk about drinks first. They have a long list of signature drinks with creative names like Anything Goes, Reggie's Revenge, Bedtime Story, cool-headed monkey, and even German mechanic, which is just such a great throwback to Indiana Jones. And you can choose from a selection of souvenir glasses that you can keep for an added fee, of course. They have a selection of about 15 wines, ranging red, white. They even have some dessert wines, and those prices are about $9 to $11 a glass. You can also buy bottles. And then they have bottled and draft beer that ranges from about $7 to $9 a glass or a bottle. And you can get a series of 4 craft brews are usually on draft. But of course, my favorite is the Schopenhauer. And this was the first place that I've actually seen it in a bottle, which for some odd reason was just cool to me. So the food is all lounge food, which means you're getting appetizers or small plates. And there's enough to turn this into a whole meal, so you can try a lot of different things, or go ahead and just choose 1 or 2 if this is a place you're stopping before heading on to a full dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and read through the menu, and then I'll touch base on a few of these items that we have had on our couple of trips. So the first one is the Air Pirates pretzels, and that's a flight of everything pretzels with spicy German mustard and beer cheese fondue for $10.50. You know me, I'm gonna switch out the German mustard for more beer cheese fondue. We have had these. They're very good. If you've ever had an everything bagel, which is one of my favorites, it has all of that same seasoning on the pretzel. Really, really good. And this is a great appetizer, like most of these will be, to share. So the next one on the list is Salah's Falafel. And we did have this one on our first visit, but it was slightly different at that time. So they have updated the menu since they opened. But this is a sweet potato falafel, and it is served with a romesco sauce, pickled vegetable, Swiss chard, herbed yogurt cheese, and grilled naan bread. This is for $10, so not too bad. Next, you have a Frauleins flatbread, and this is a BLT flatbread, and it's topped with spiced shrimp, smoked bacon, arugula, roasted tomatoes, and basil pesto. Have not had these, but I'm sure it is absolutely delicious, as Disney traditionally does flatbreads pretty well at any of their other restaurants. Next up on the list is Mac's Pork Belly Sliders, and this is a crisp pork belly slider with braised red cabbage, Swiss, and house-made Russian dressing for $13. This is another one that we have not tried, but again, how are you going to go wrong with pork belly? And next on the list is the tuna tacos. We did have this on one of our previous trips. It is very, very good. And so this is seared ahi tuna with ancient spices in a tortilla shell with lettuce, guacamole, sour cream, pico de gallo, cilantro, jalapeno pepper, and a toasted lime. You're going to get that for $15. Next is what I actually had on this previous visit, and that's Wuhan's Hot Wings. And this comes, I want to say it was about 6 wings, good meaty wings, very crisp. And you can choose one of 3 sauces. The first is the Obi-Wan orange ginger soy sauce, which is mild. Then there's a Himalayan Zing with gochujang pepper sauce, which is a medium heat. And then there's Lao Che's Revenge with sriracha and sweet Thai chili teriyaki sauce, which is going to be hot and heat. I went ahead and went with the Himalayan Zing with gochujang pepper sauce. Really, really good. Very, very sticky. It's almost comparable to the flavor of the sticky ribs over at Morimoto, which you know is a favorite of both John and I. And you can get those wings for $14. Next is the shrimp Marrakesh. And this is going to be marinated fried shrimp inspired by Jock's Moroccan adventures. So this is served with a harissa aioli and a charred lemon juicer, which is basically a charred lemon. And that's $12.50. Next up, we got the Snake Bite Sliders. And these are 3 gourmet beef sliders with tomato bacon jam, house-made pickles, and shredded lettuce for $12. Now, we have not had this, but originally they did have meatball sliders that actually had a tzatziki sauce on it, so it's probably pretty similar, so I can only imagine this is very good. And then finally, they have the Temple Tenderloin, which is a sliced beef tenderloin stacked high on a toasted baguette with Swiss mayonnaise, tomato, arugula, and radish slaw. And this is served with a side of jugo de carne and French fries, tossed with bacon and chimichurri sauce for $17. Another one we have not tried, but as you can hear, anything we've had on this list has been very, very good. So my guess is you probably really can't go wrong. Again, I absolutely love this spot. For me, out of probably all of the bars and lounges or whatever you want to call it, it has everything. There's a story behind it, which Disney does so well. The atmosphere is incredible. It's a place you can make repeat visits to and always find something new as you look around. Obviously, they've got great drinks. Whether you want a mixed drink, you just want a cold glass of beer, maybe you want some wine, and they even offer a whiskey flight that you can get that is a sample of 4 different whiskeys as well. And then obviously the food is very, very good. So yeah, this place has everything. So again, whether you want to treat this as maybe a stop, right before you head into a full dinner, I'd recommend you go to Morimoto. You can do that. You can have drinks there. You can just eat. You can take the family. You can do everything at this spot. And it is dead center right there in Disney Springs, right down the street from Paradiso and from the Edison, actually. I'd highly recommend this spot, whether it's from lunch, dinner, apps, hangout, whatever you want to do. Make sure you go there on your next trip. As always, make sure you go out and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can always visit us at mainstmagic.com. And if you have a show topic or idea, please hit us up at magic@mainstmagic.com, and we'll be sure we add it to our long-growing list of future episodes. We do have a couple coming up from some ideas that we got from Facebook, so you can also post ideas out there or Twitter. That's all I got for now. We'll see you real soon.